Captain on the bridge.
All right, Captains, red alert. Okay, Captains, we are back on the bridge, and today I want to do a little something different. As most of you Captains know, I obviously love Star Trek, and I already did a review and video on the trailer from Season 2. In that trailer, there are some really good nuggets in there, and I thought I would go over one of the things that really caught my attention. And I think you Captains already know what it is. So, on screen. So, it was this picture on the right here that caught my attention. And not only me, but when I was searching through YouTube, images of PICARD Season 2, this came up. So, what I wanted to do is just kind of throw my two ECs on this and what I think. Now, first and foremost, you see on the left here, I want to give a huge shout out to ISS Aventine at Aventine LSS on Twitter for giving me the permission to use this and give the credit where it's due, as they sort of gave their own interpretation or outlined it to what they think it looks like. So I wanted to go first over this. Again, when I saw this, I kind of immediately went, huh? One of my favorite ships in the Star Trek, actually my first love in Star Trek, is actually the Galaxy class. And when I saw this, I had to just go, wah. So I'll kind of go over what I first saw here before the picture on the left here, but on the right, like, it looked like this was kind of an armored here in the secondary hull. And again, looking at it quickly in the trailer, it didn't look right. You can tell the nacelles were different. The overall shape is the Enterprise D, is a Galaxy class, but they did move things around. Now, as we know, deflector is usually on the secondary hull, but they moved it here, and I didn't even catch this, up in the saucer. And it looks like they've also added some more phaser banks, or it's coming out of there, or out of the phaser strip here on the bottom of the saucer. Now, you also see some photon torpedoes shooting. So, some things I'll take from this. One, phasers in Star Trek Picard are still orange. Thank you. Photons, torpedoes, are still red. Thank you. I'm a huge cannon fan, Captains, and most of you know I play Star Trek Online, and I try to really emulate what I see in my builds when I do a canon build or a theme build. So, great, I love that. Looking at the saucer, there was this, I'm not sure if it's a cutout or what they did, but it looks like it is a cutout. Again, this is just first impressions when looking at this picture. And one of the things that I thought was these side parts here kind of, do they move away from the main saucer to reveal some more firing phasers, possibly launchers? Was kind of my thought. Is this like a battle mode or something like that? And again, this is kind of an alternate timeline that we're dealing with in season 2 in Picard. So they kind of probably went nuts, but they probably asked the artist, hey, I want something different, and they just did this. So I'm going to go now to the picture here on the left. This is, I believe, an interpretation of what it could be. So I kind of like this, and I kind of don't. I'll start with why I don't like this, which is the deflector was moved to the saucer. And this has become just sort of either, again, here an armored look, or could be possibly shuttle bays, which would make sense if this is more a mirror / alternate type Enterprise, where it's more of a, or it was refitted, possibly. We can even guess that this was refitted to what it is now to make it more battle ready. Now, you can also, it doesn't show it here on the picture on the right, but on the left, it shows possibly some even more launchers here on the pylons. But yeah, I don't really like this look of the deflector not being on the secondary hull. Not that it's not normal to have a deflector on the saucer, but I'm a boomer and I like my things how they were, and change is difficult for me. What? So they changed the nacelles. Definitely you can tell they're more blocky more nacelles there. The neck stayed kind of the same, and then of course the saucer is where most of the differences are. So what I said before, it looks like what they're doing is these pieces possibly reveal these launchers here, if that is a thing. And I think that's kind of cool. Again, I'm just speculating. This is not, I'm just trying to throw my two ECs because really, Captains, I'm excited. I love Star Trek. Everything you'll see on this channel is going to be about Star Trek. Mostly. I do other things, but right now, there's so much Star Trek going on. I want, again, to share my love for that through little sort of videos like these, where we kind of get to guess, kind of get to speculate, and just kind of have fun with it. You know, because Star Trek is such a great universe, and it's just expanding now with all the Star Trek shows. But touching again back onto this, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think they could have gotten away with this if they just left the deflector on the secondary hull. Sure, change the nacelles, change the saucer, but I don't think this was necessary. Will we get to see this actually on screen? I don't know. I have a feeling no, that this is just going to really invoke the whole, this is a different timeline. We saw this in the trailer. Either which way, it's great to kind of talk about and have fun. Now, looking at Picard here, this reminds me of like the TMP almost uniform, but just black. And then the turtleneck there and the badge there, of course, Picard looking all Picard. So again, I just wanted to throw this out there. I'm really excited about Star Trek Picard Season 2. Excited about all the new Trek that could possibly come into Star Trek Online. But like I said, I'd like to start covering things that I have two ECs on. You know, drop it down on the table, say, hey, let's talk about this. So not a fan, like I said, things that I would have probably done is just leave the secondary deflector on, or the deflector on the secondary hull, and just beef up the saucer. I would have been fine with that. Heck, even maybe put a roll bar somewhere. Possibly here in the aft section. Something. As opposed to, because I don't really like that look. Again, you couldn't really tell here, but then with this outlined, it shows what it could be. And the only thing I would change with this is taking the deflector, like I said, putting on the secondary hull. Now, I wanted to get this out there before we get any more info. I've been sitting on this for a bit here since that trailer dropped. I just wanted to kind of digest it a little bit, throw my thoughts together, and put it out here in this vid. So that is Captain's quick little 2 EC drop on this one picture here. We may do more of this. Again, I love to talk about Trek. I love to just geek out, to nerd out. I know my nerd cred's not that high, but when there's something that I love, I want to try to share that via these videos, and that's what we're going to do moving on. So with that said, we're going to call it there, Captains, and leave it on this note.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.